All right. How is everyone doing? All right. Just getting a little tweet out about it quick. Mr. Snappy Paws, James, it's your birthday. Well, happy birthday, Mr. Snappy Paws. Hey, Bane316 and Jose Recio, Ryan Lista, Nick Figures, Gamer Bomber 1, TV2. Man, a lot of you guys coming in really quick. Notifications must be going out, which is good. Obviously, never know if and when notifications are going to go out. So, hey, Super Mario, how's it going? Obviously, it's Saturday. Kind of a little late night impromptu stream. No, this isn't This Week in Review that I tested last week. If I do that, it'll be tomorrow night. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that yet tomorrow night because I do have my grandfather's funeral on Monday in the morning, so I'm not sure that I really want to, be streaming or anything Sunday night, but we'll see. How's it going, Evil Angel 971? We had our first question. Oh, Star Infinite as well. Welcome. Our first question was what happened. What happened this week? Well, for those not in the know, 4 days ago, my grandfather passed away. I was in the room. It was pretty tough. I wonder if it would have been easier if I wasn't in the room because I've had like nightmares about this stuff. But I was in the room as he took his last breath and watched the life leave his body. My other grandfather yesterday had a stroke. My fiance came down and got really, really sick. Although she's, thank God, knock on wood, actual wood here. She's doing better now. She's on steroids and antibiotics and everything. So she's already, 1,020% better than she was. So it's just been a hard week. I think hearing all that, you can understand why it's been a hard week. I've never lost anyone close to me before, and I almost lost 2 people close to me in the same week. So it's... Oh, and it made national news, I guess. There was a car accident, or I don't want to call it a car accident. Basically, some Girl Scouts were killed in my area, and I might know them. Because I used to do after-school care with this particular Girl Scout troop. So names haven't been released, so I don't actually know anything. It might be a drunk driver who did it. It was a hit and run. They were doing cleanup duty on the highway. They had adults with them and stuff. An adult died as well. And they were well into the ditch, like well away to where, you just accidentally clip someone because they're like right at the side of the highway. Like, no, they were well down in the ditch, so it had to be someone who flew off the road. There's no snow. There's no water. There's no nothing. There's no reason to go that far off the road. So, assuming it was a drunk driver, because I don't know how else the hell you end up down in the ditch, like 20 feet off the road. Anyways, I'm trying not to be. I'm sad about it either way, but obviously it's going to affect me more if I find out these are people I know. So, yes, one hell of a week, I'd say. So, here we are. Saturday night. Just having a chat. Trying to just talk about games or talk about life or talk about whatever you guys want to ask me about. It is a Q&A. A little, hey, we just had a new subscriber. Thank you, Bowie Badger, for subscribing. We also had a new subscriber a minute back. Yanet A. Fernandez. Thank you for subscribing as well. Always cool to get some new subscribers up there. Hopefully the notifications popped up for you guys. Sorry about my loss again. That's all right, Sonic Man the best. A lot of you guys have already given me your well wishes, and it's not like I want to dwell on it too much. I already, today we had a family gathering, of most of not everyone who's going to be at the funeral, but a lot of the closer family and closer family friends and my parents. And then tomorrow is kind of like the day where I just kind of try not to think about it at all until the evening when I got to start thinking about, getting ready for the actual funeral because I'm a pallbearer, so I have to, help carry the casket and stuff. So, I got to worry about that and make sure I actually, I have clothes to wear, but now I'm going to be in front of a whole bunch of people, so it's like, better make sure I don't look terrible in the clothes I have since I can't really hide in the crowd. But it's okay. Let's see here. Have I voted yet for the midterms? Voting here is not till Tuesday, so no. And we don't talk about politics on this channel, so please don't bring that up again. Sorry you asked, should have did some research. No, that's okay. It's okay. I've been open about it all week, what happened and all that stuff. I'm hiding some feelings I have about it all, but I'm not going to hide, what happened, If it actually happened, it's out there. It's public. It's public knowledge. So, anyways. Never lost close family members. I can't give you any advice from personal experience. I hope you and your family are doing okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm doing all right. It was a little rough with my parents. I don't really want to get into it, though. That's something I want to talk about with my fiance later tonight when she gets home. I think she's hanging out with a friend right now. Do you think DLC for $25 is a bit steep? That's almost half the price of the game. I don't think $25 is... I mean, think about it. 20, 25, $30 is pretty standard for season passes. And what this is basically a season pass because it's little bits of DLC we're getting over the course of a year. That's a season pass. They're not calling it a season pass, but it's a season pass. It's a year-long pass for all the DLC coming to Smash. Of course, except Piranha Plant. So if you buy it after January 31st, you don't get Piranha Plant. That's separate. That's dumb. Whatever. So do I think it's steep? Just in general, for a season pass, it's not steep. It's right in line with what season passes cost. We could talk about if it's enough content for $25. That's going to be in the eye of the beholder. For a lot of people, it's going to be, well, what are the characters and what are the stages? If there are 5 really amazing characters you want with 5 stages you really want, chances are $25 is well worth worth the money to you. I mean, the value is so subjective in that way, right? If you just look at it as, we're getting 5 characters and 5 stages, where for $60 we get 100 plus characters and 74 characters, 100 plus stages. Price comparison wise, that doesn't make any sense. But that's not always how things work. That's not always how people judge things. In that case, the $20 for the DLC pass for the season pass for Breath of the Wild wasn't worth it because in comparison to what we got content-wise compared to what's in the game, $20 was too expensive. There's many ways to look at it. I'm just glad that they have almost, because of Piranha Plant, damn you, almost an all-inclusive pass. But whether or not it is worth it to you is up to the individual. Oh, what's up, Koopa Troopa Poopa? How's it going? Hey, Say Stuff. How's it going, Say Stuff? Hey, if it isn't the best nickname ever, guy. Right? Every time I see Poopa Troopa's name, I gotta admit, I smile just a little bit. Just a little bit, Oh, man. Oh, all right. Sorry, I was looking something up over here. Nick Figures, hey Nate, how much of Dark Souls have I played? I literally just got it today. I shouldn't say 0. I played a friend's copy, so I played 15, 20 minutes. I don't own the game, so. What game do you think will get Game of the Year? Probably Red Dead Redemption 2. I mean, it depends. Are you talking about individuals, or are you talking about collective voting? Collective voting is going to be Red Dead Redemption 2. Hands down. It's going to be, because it's voted on by people in the industry. It's the highest reviewed game of the year. It's going to end up being it's the runaway game of the year right now. I don't know that anything else coming out or has come out is going to end up having higher review scores. Hence, it's going to be game of the year. It's going to run away with it. So, let's see here. At least the season pass isn't $60 for all the fighters like most season passes. Like fighting games in general really nickel and dime consumers. They really do. Smash this time around, Smash isn't like conforming to, like, if you guys remember how they handled DLC with the Wii U and 3DS Smash games, like, it was bad. And a lot of people defended it, and I'm like, it's bad. This is bad. This is EA levels of bad. This is terrible. They appear to not be doing that right now. Piranha Plant aside, I hate what they're doing with Piranha Plant. That set aside, the rest of it I think is fine for the most part. You can argue if the price is too much or not. That's going to be up to the individual. But at least they're making it easier to get it all instead of doing all these different bundles and packages and all this stuff that you end up spending $100 on to get everything. Like, it's just dumb the way they handled it on Wii U and 3DS. But it worked for them. They made a lot of money doing it. I just don't think that's how they should have delivered it. Bane316 says, do you think developers will start to bring AAA games to the iPad Pro now that it has the Xbox One S power? We have to be a little careful, okay, by talking about the Xbox One S power, Xbox One power in general in the iPad Pro tablet, because everything I've seen about the iPad Pro tablet, the new one coming out, very expensive tablet for starters, but whatever, it's an Apple product. Our Apple product's not expensive. I don't think you're going to see a bunch of AAA games on it for a number of reasons. One, it's not just about having a powerful tablet. It's about a control scheme. You have to buy peripherals, basically, to properly play the games on that platform, because touch controls don't directly translate very well for a lot of AAA games. So that's one, going to turn it away. Two, just because it has enough power within it to match an Xbox One S doesn't mean that's actually all available there for gaming. What you have to remember with something like an iPad Pro is it's not dedicated to gaming. It's not a dedicated gaming device. So because of that, there's a lot of little things about it that are being reserved for its multitasking, being reserved for the OS, being reserved for a lot of things. And while iOS is extremely, extremely like small, and obviously because it's the only operating system they use across all their devices, it's very well built. It's just there's a lot of ins and outs here about it. On top of that, it's not really quite like, if you actually look at the direct one-to-one spec sheets, it's not really at the level of an Xbox One S. It beats it in some ways, and it's less in other ways. What ways is it less? Well, the CPU isn't as good. I'll give you that, just that as an example. And a lot of games require, in the AAA space, really big CPUs, and it's actually one of the limiting factors for Switch. Those mobile ARM CPUs are not as good as what's essentially almost desktop-level CPUs inside these platforms. Now, granted, the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 aren't really using impressive CPUs, but they're still better to deal with for gaming. The bottom line is that the iPad Pro isn't going to be able to produce what the Xbox One S can produce. Not now, anyways. Big reason is it just won't be able to handle the heat. Everything. Well, what they don't talk about when they reveal these platforms like iPad Pros and these top-end phones, Galaxy Note 9, is that when you go into an intensive game, right, a game that's pushing your system to the max on those platforms, everything gets massively downclocked. Why does it get downclocked? The same reason Switch is downclocked when you take it on the go. Heat dissipation. There's no active cooling inside, our phones and our tablets. Because there's no active cooling, it's impossible to maintain the temperatures to allow them to keep running. So yes, the iPad Pro has the ability to run almost as well as an Xbox One S, but it's not going to stay there. And that's lost in a lot of this. So no, it's not going to, like, AAA games aren't going to start going to the iPad Pro. Not now, anyways. When we get to the point that things can downclock and then still hit that power, sure. We're not there yet. Technology is advancing really fast. Maybe we'll be there, vapor chamber cooling like everything's using now. Like, we'll get there someday. But right now, I'd still say we're probably 3 or 4 years away for where the downclock speeds of the overheated parts are still at the speed of an Xbox One S. And like decade away from it matching like the Xbox One X or whatever, Xbox Scarlet or PlayStation 5, whatever's next. Let's see here. I screenshot Nintendo site and said either pre-order or what? Either pre-order or just buy the game. I don't know what you're talking about, Sonic Man. Look, I'm saying that if none of the new 5 characters aren't Isaac or Solaire, I won't buy it. But I won't buy it anyways because I have no money. Dude, I feel you on the money front, man. I really feel you on the money front. As a reminder, it does say that, like, over here, all super chats and donations tonight lead to shots. I won't be doing shots tomorrow night if I do a stream for this week in review if I end up streaming. This is kind of it for me for shots for a little while. Trying to not think about all the bad stuff that happened this week, but, as it were, here I am. For me, when I lost my grandma, who raised me as her own son, it was tough. I was 16. Tell you the truth, it always hurt, even 25 years later, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be a little painful. Like, even if you're religious and you believe they're in a better place and all that stuff, it's always painful. Because you're going to miss them. And that's really the pain. It's not so much like, you look at one hand, well, they're no longer in pain, so that's always good. That's fine, but like, I'm still in pain. And the people that love that person are still in pain. We still miss them. And you're always going to miss them, right? For the rest of my days, I'm gonna miss them. I'm going to miss my grandparents if they, all of them when they pass away. My parents if they pass away before I do. I'm going to miss everyone. Like, that's just the way, life goes. And it's not really, it gets easier to deal with because you stop thinking about it in your daily life, right? And I think that's the moment I'm waiting for, where I stop thinking about my grandpa who passed away this week, on the daily. And I don't know when that's going to be, not that you ever forget, but where there's so much going on in your life and other things that, like, you just kind of move on, is a word, I think is, I don't know, is that too harsh of a thing to say? I don't know. That's what I feel like is going to happen to me eventually. And it'll get easier, I think, the further and further away we get from the funeral. Open casket funeral, so it's going to be a pretty emotional funeral on Monday. But after that, I think it'll get easier the further and further away I get from that particular event. Mobile's becoming bigger, which is not something I care for due to touchscreen controls and tons of low-effort games. There's a lot of high-effort games as well. I think mobile gets a bad name because we only ever hear about, these terrible microtransactions or this and that. Like, there's still some good games on there. They might not be for you, but there is good games on the phone. Let's see here. We are getting another Bubsy game before we get Metroid Prime 4. Are we? Is there a Bubsy game announced? Like, Metroid Prime 4 is going to come in, like, 2020. I don't think it's going to be a 2019 game, but, I mean, it's going to come. Let me see. I missed some small details because I was on the phone with my doctor regarding my medical leave. Some small details. I don't know what you're talking about. And as for your medical leave, I hope everything's all right. You died a lot in Dark Souls. That's kind of the shtick of Dark Souls is death, a lot of death. Do I think the Switch emulator will affect the Nintendo Switch? In what way? In what way? Because Switch emulation, like, there's been some progress. I didn't report on it this week. It might be something I cover in a Prime News coming up. But there's been a Switch emulator on PC that has actually gotten some traction, some progress made, and can kind of sort of run certain games. The thing with emulation is, before that emulator becomes something that could even possibly negatively impact Switch sales, I mean, we're still going to be like 10 years past when the Switch is done being made. Why is that? Because the Switch emulator, for all of its progress and everything it's doing, still requires like really, really beefy PC specs to actually run the games or it's able to boot successfully. So it's still way out of the realm of possibility for 99% of people that want to emulate Switch games. And it's also like you have to customize things for each individual game on there to make it work. So there's progress, but it's so far from being something that's going to affect Switch directly that I'm not even worried about it. And this is true of basically every emulator that's ever existed. Like, if you think about, oh yeah, well, that GameCube emulator is pretty good now. How far away from GameCube are we to the point where the GameCube emulator is now pretty good? I mean, think about that. So think about how far removed we're going to have to be from Switch being a primary platform on the market and Nintendo not moving on to something else before it, too, is capable of running things as well as the GameCube emulator. We're a long ways off from it really mattering, is what I'm trying to say. Let me see here. Now, I guess you could say we're lucky with $60 or $70 plus whatever character the price. Normally, you may get a fraction of that. I mean, all fighting games are different, right? Like, we could say we're lucky, but, I mean, Smash is that kind of game, right? Like, they keep throwing more characters in. So, it's a different style of fighting game. Some fighting games aren't adding new characters every time. So, you know, you just have to kind of take things as they are and realize that Smash is just not the same way other fighting games handle things. Ultimate Keymaster, I don't get what the problem with the plant is. It's free before it's finished. It's far better than games like Soul Calibur gating day one legacy character. Well, I'll tell you what the problem is with it, Ultimate Keymaster. It doesn't matter if it's slightly better than gating a day one legacy character. What it is doing is it's gating a character for free to people who happen to buy the game in the first 2 months, charging money for everyone after the fact. So if you don't get Super Smash Bros. And a Nintendo Switch till next holiday, even though you paid $300 for your Switch and $60 for the same game, you don't get the same amount of characters because you have to buy an extra character that other people that bought it in the first 2 months it was on the market got for free. That is a problem. That is bullshit. That is the same thing as pre-order exclusive content. Except, or let me put it this way. This is the same as, oh, this content's free if you pre-order, but you have to pay for it if you don't. That's basically what this is, except the pre-order has like a 2-month window of December, and it's technically less than 2 months because the game doesn't come out until the 6th, but whatever. From December and January. After that, the fact that anyone else has to pay for that character is excuse my language, fucking bullshit. That is the kind of shit we should not accept. We should be letting them know the moment they flip it to something that costs money on February 1st that we're not going to handle that. We're not going to deal with that. Boycott the fuck out of that idea. It is stupid. Here's why Nintendo's doing it. Nintendo is making the Piranha Plant this thing you get for free for 2 months because they're trying to push as many Super Smash Bros. And in particular Nintendo Switch sales as it can within that 2-month window to beef up their numbers for the fiscal year. They're trying really hard, desperately, to hit that 20 million Switch thing, which I don't think they need to be desperate about to hit. And they're doing it by saying, hey, if you buy this game, you save money and get a character that everyone else is going to have to pay for after the fact. And then outside of that 2-month window, then they just keep making bank off selling that character that all of the initial launch people of 4, 5, 6, 8 million people or whatever it is have. So now when you buy the game after, you're going to feel like you need to buy the Piranha Plant because everyone else who has the game has the Piranha Plant. It's a greedy move. It's nothing but greed. Piranha Plant's an amazing character. I love it. Heck, it might even become my main. You guys saw my video, the neck stretch. I love it. Makes up for my lack of a neck, I guess. But guys, it's nothing but greed. Everything Nintendo and Sakurai are doing with the Piranha Plant is about them making money. And them making the most money possible. It's not pro-consumer at all. There is nothing pro-consumer about what's happening with Piranha Plant. Oh, it's free for 2 months, so they can try to sell as many units in that 2-month window as possible. And then when they get out of that 2-month window, they're going to charge everyone else on a title they know is evergreen and going to be like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, selling 400k units a month every month. That's what it is. Smash Bros. Is like Mario Kart. It continues to sell month after month after month after month for like the next 2 years. And they know that. So you're telling me because you happen to have the money around the holidays to pick up a Switch and to pick up Smash Bros., you deserve Piranha Plant over someone who picks it up in February, someone who gets it for their birthday in March? Fuck no, you don't deserve that character more than the people that pick it up in February and March or July or next holiday. Fuck no, they shouldn't have to pay more for a character you got when you spent the same amount of money on the game. If you spent $60 and got 75 characters, guess what? When you spend $60 next July on the game, you should get 75 characters. It's bullshit, and you should not accept it. I'm sorry. That's like my little mini rant on it. I didn't make a separate video on it. I wanted to. I decided not to. I figured people were just going to be like, oh, you're being too harsh. You're being too critical. Fuck that. You guys are being stupid. Nintendo's taking us for a ride. Because all of you guys are going to pick it up here in the first month. It's not going to matter for me. Stop thinking about just yourself. Think about what Nintendo's doing. It's a selfish, greedy mood. All right. And Edward comes in and gets the super chat started with some music. Don't you sleep? You finally shaved. I shaved before I went to my parents' house, honey. I took an extra shower, even though I took a bath earlier today for my knee. All right. Thanks, Edward. Let me. I'll get that song going for you. I gotta turn down the old volume a little bit. This is the Min-Me. Okay. Oops. Yep. Wait. No. Lennox remix. Are you sure it's not the Levox? I think it's the Levox remix. I think you typed it wrong. So we're gonna go with that remix. I'm gonna turn it down a little here. All right. Oh my God, I need dick. let me get that shot in there for you, Edward. We're doing some red strawberry ale, and obviously for higher super chat donations, I got some harder stuff. I've got some pumpkin smash, some apple smash. I got some kinky. I got some tequila. If we get to the tequila, it's gonna be an interesting night. Yeah, guys, remember, like, all the stuff I'm going through, it affects Yulia too. You know, it's been a rough week I mean, she's family, right? She's my fiance. She's the love of my life. She was really close to my grandpa who passed away as well, helping take care of him over the past, 6 months. And yeah, it's been a rough week for everyone, man. It's tough. Cheers, guys. And she was sick. She's still technically sick, but she's starting to feel better. She's not home. There's no one home for me to give it to, besides my right and left hand. So she can keep asking for it, but she's not here. She's not here. All right. Let me scroll up and see what other questions I missed. Thank you so much for that $5, Edward. Let's scroll down here. So I think I explained the Piranha Plant thing well. I'm sure some people made some comments during my little rant, but Game of the Year should be Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Well, I mean, it's a port. It's not going to be Game of the Year. It's a very good game, though. I'm not talking about Piranha Plant as a fighter, just the business model. As was I. Literally what I talked about was the business model. It's bullshit. While you're on the hardware topic, if you had to recommend a resource for building a PC from scratch, buying the parts, what would you recommend? Well, PC Part Picker. PC Part Picker is a good place to go. They'll have compatibility and like you'll pick your motherboard and you'll pick a motherboard, and then from there, every other part you look up for your thing, it'll only show you compatible parts. So compatible RAM, compatible CPUs, compatible coolers, compatible cases. So PC Part Picker is a great place to pre-build it. Plus, it'll give you prices, and it'll give you links to different shops like Amazon, Newegg, etc. for cheapest prices. Some of the cheapest prices involve mail-in rebates. So if you don't want to mess with mail-in rebates, you could go with a different option that doesn't have mail-in rebates but is also cheap. So PC Part Picker is a great place. If you're looking for advice on what kind of computer to build or what you should be looking for, that's going to come down to what sort of... Are you trying to build a gaming computer? Are you trying to build a productivity computer? Are you trying to build a 3D model rendering computer? Are you doing a video editing computer? Are you trying to do something that's a jack of all trades? I want to build a new PC because my computer is not... it's okay. It's a nice... Hold on. Let me take that back. My computer is great, but now at the level at which I am editing and rendering videos, it's actually holding me back a bit. I have to sit here and twiddle my thumbs as everything is maxed out for 45 minutes as a video renders, when the video could only be 12 minutes long. It shouldn't take 45 minutes to render it, but it happens. And it's something that deters me. Thankfully, I do have a laptop, so I can do some secondary work on my laptop now. But yeah, I would like to, the CPU in particular is bottlenecking me. I would like to upgrade the CPU, and if I do that, I actually have to change my motherboard out. But that's all right. Well, I'll worry about that some other time when I'm rolling in that YouTube money, right? If I'm ever rolling in it one day. So yeah, if you're looking for advice on like what style of computer to build, there's a zillion YouTube videos out there. I could recommend like Jay's 2 Cents or Linus Tech Tips. Jay's 2 Cents actually does a lot more of the individual computer builds and recommendations, so does Bitwit, if you're looking just for recommendations on the kind of computer you're building and what's available. But PC Part Picker is definitely where you should build it first to see what it's going to cost and see what retail outlets you have available to you. Let me see here. Let me scroll down. We had some deleted. Who was put on timeout? We had someone doing political stuff. Scroll down here. Thoughts on Travis Touchdown or Chrono being one of the DLC? Sure. I mean, Travis Touchdown I think would make some sense because No More Heroes has been like synonymous with Nintendo platforms since Wii. But, you know, and Chrono, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Honestly, all I want is Banjo-Kazooie. I really don't care. Until they have Banjo-Kazooie, none of them are good enough. I mean, that's just how much I like Banjo-Kazooie. Or Conker. We're not going to get either of them. But apparently there might even be issues like with the N64 Classic on like Nintendo trying to get licensing rights to re-release Conker and Banjo as part of the N64 Classic because I think Nintendo might be worried about PlayStation 1 Classic backlash. Like if they can't get the rights to some of these rare games to re-release, that's going to be a problem for Nintendo because Rare was a huge part of the N64 era. Some of the games they won't have a problem with, like Diddy Kong Racing and stuff like that. Like Nintendo owns that, but let's see here. Bubsy's a good game. Yeah, Bubsy's alright. Oh, your virgin eyes. Piranha Plant is the ultimate character in Smash history, dude. Piranha Plant, like, Piranha Plant is just a character. It's a total Sakurai character, man. I mean, out of left field, no one expects it. It has no business being in Smash Bros. As its own character, and here it is, and it just looks wonderful. I saw your reaction to Piranha Plant as well. It's like it's stupid, but it's like the brilliant kind of stupid, right? Like this should not be a character in Smash Bros. But this is partly why we love Smash because it just doesn't make any sense, but we love it. It's awesome. It's almost a joke comparing the content between Smash Bros. Ultimate and Mario Tennis Aces. Who's doing that? I didn't do that. Smash Bros. Like Ultimate is like 10 Mario Tennis Aces times 50 in one game. There's a lot of content in Smash Bros. Ultimate. Mario Kart Deluxe has generally made Nintendo over $1 billion at this point. Over $1 billion, maybe? I'd have to do some number crunching. Between Mario Kart 8 on Wii U, then Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it moving 400K per month. Look at its sales. I'm not sure if it's $1 billion game yet. But I mean, you know, it's up there. It's made a pretty penny. So is Super Mario Odyssey for them. Made a pretty penny. Mario Kart 8's a little different because they also made like bank on it on Wii U. So you have like the double whammy of, oh, it's almost the best-selling Switch game. Oh, and by the way, it moved like 8-9 million on Wii U as well. So throw that in the mix, and oh my god, how much money they make off that? Plus, they sold the DLC pass back on Switch on Wii U as well. So, they said the character isn't done. Well, of course the character's not done. But here's the thing we know. Here's the thing. When you call it a 6th DLC character, here's the deal. One, comparing this to Crosstag is stupid. Crosstag gates half of its roster. That's bullshit. Just because something else does something that's worse doesn't make what's happening with Piranha Plant better. Guys, you can give 1,000 examples of games that are doing it worse. That doesn't have anything to do with Piranha Plant being handled well. Here's the deal.
Piranha Plant's not done, right? But it's being worked on right now before the game came out. It is not a character being made after the game comes out, right? It's being finalized after the game comes out, but it's being worked on right now. You want to know how I know that? We saw it in action using Smash moves in a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Direct more than a month out from the game releasing. They are working on Piranha Plant right now. Right now. This is not post-game created DLC. This is content being made right now. Now, is it cut content from the final version of the game? No. I don't think so anyways. Maybe it's cut content. Maybe the Piranha Plant's actually done and they're just going to hold it off for a couple months to push sales. I don't know. We might find that out later and find out it's even a shadier, shitty thing they're doing. But they're making it right now. So it basically sounds like to me it was going to be part of the roster. The roster was going to be 75. They didn't finish this character. So they're going to give it to you for free for 2 months and then charge everyone else after. Fuck that shit. Anyone that gets free content, what it is, it doesn't matter what the game is. It doesn't matter. Take any random game. If you buy the game at launch or pre-order the game, right? This isn't a pre-order bonus, but you pre-order the game. You buy the game in the first month. You buy the game in the second. Hell, you buy the game in the third month. And because you bought it sometime in the first 90 days, right, you get this extra content they release after the fact, right? Like it's Splatoon, right? They give you, we're going to give you an extra weapon, an extra character, an extra whatever, right? We're just going to give that to people who bought it in the first 3 months. Oh, you want that if you bought it in month 4 or month 5? Fuck you. You have to spend more money on it. Why do you have to spend more money on it? Because you just didn't buy it in the little 3-month launch window. That's what they're doing. They're saying, hey, if you buy this game in the launch window, you get a free extra character. If you buy it after the launch window for whatever reason, financial reasons, personal reasons, guess what? Fuck you. Give us $5, $6 more so you can have that character. Fuck that. That is stupid. The character's done. At that point, they're starting to charge for it at the point that the character's done. Well, they give everyone else before that it for free. That's stupid. It's nothing but greedy, money-grubbing bullshit. That's all it is. You should not accept that as being okay. Other games doing more, worse, shittier things doesn't excuse Smash Bros. From doing the shitty thing. And it sucks because I actually don't mind generally what they're doing with the DLC, except for Piranha Plant. Piranha Plant shouldn't even be considered free DLC. It should just be post-game content you're given after the fact. The fact that people can get that character for spending $60 and people later have to spend $66 to have the game plus that character, it's bullshit. Smash Bros. Should not get more expensive the further out from launch. That's what you're saying. You get the game in December and January, you spend $60, you're getting 75 characters. But you know what? Fuck you. You want 75 characters next July? You got to spend $66. Smash Bros. Should get cheaper, not more expensive. It should be cheaper to get those 75 characters next July, not more expensive. And it should not. Guys, you can't just say that practice. Oh my God. Accepting that practice is terrible. It's terrible. I don't know what we do about it. You're not going to not buy Smash Bros. Because of that practice, right? But you don't have to not buy something to make our voices heard. We just have to collectively come together on the internet and backlash against it the moment we find out how much the character costs and they start charging it and be like, fuck no, that's bullshit. People shouldn't have to spend extra for something I didn't have to spend money on. Like free DLC. You spent $60 fucking on the game. It ain't free. That's another thing when people talk about free DLC. You spent $60. You didn't get... This wasn't like you didn't open your Switch one day and present, here's Smash Bros. With the 75th character. Fuck no, you had to spend $60 for the privilege of that free DLC. We need to stop acting like free is actually free when we have to spend money to get it. You don't just get Piranha Plant, you have to buy the game. And now, buying the game won't even be good enough once you're past February. Then you gotta spend extra money on microtransaction TLZ for a character that was given to people. It was just given to people, and now you gotta spend money on it. No, that's a shady practice. And I explained clearly why Nintendo's doing it. They're trying to push as many Switch sales as they can in January and December to try to hit their fiscal numbers. And then once they get those numbers, fuck everyone else who buys Smash Bros. You need to spend extra money on this. Oh, and by the way, the Piranha Plant's not part of the fucking $25 DLC pack. So it's in addition to that. Oh, that $5 you save on that DLC pack. Well, fuck you. You don't save jack shit because you got to buy the Piranha Plant if you buy Switch next year. Fuck that. That we shouldn't be Yay! Thank you. You're giving us this character for free. You're not giving us shit for free. We paid for that character by buying the game. They're making the character right now. If you have the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Bundle pre-ordered, you have the game pre-ordered. Guess what? You already paid for this character to be made. It's being made right now. Right now. This isn't being made after the game's done and gone gold. This isn't being made after the game releases. This is being made right now. They are building this character before the game's ever gone on sale. You ain't getting shit for free. Just people later have to spend more to get the same shit you're getting. Stupid. It's a shady, dumb business practice. No one should be applauding it. You want to not be bothered by it because you're going to own Smash Bros. Anyway and have it for free? Fine. But I like to think about consumers that are buying the game beyond just the first 2 months it's on the market. Especially when it's Nintendo games that are evergreen. Like, imagine this. Imagine Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, right? It came with all of the DLC that it released on, on the Wii U, right? For $60. Now imagine, after 2 months, they tell you, you know what? Link and the Hyrule Castle thing, fuck you. You got to pay for it after the first 2 months. You know what? If you bought Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in the first 2 months, congrats for you. You got that shit for free. But now, oh man, you bought it 3 months out, 4 months out, 5 months out, fuck you. Give me $10 to get it. That's the same logic. Now you can say, well, that content's already done. So fucking what? It was DLC on Wii. How do you think Wii U people feel when you're paying $60 for something they paid $80 for? I mean, come on. Don't, and I'm not saying that was a bad business practice by Nintendo. I'm just bringing up a really bad comparison, but a comparison of, we shouldn't applaud them giving away when they're not. You bought the game. Okay, last I checked, I'm not getting that character for free. I don't get to not buy the game and then have that character and just diddle around with it on my menu system, right? Oh, I'm running with the Piranha Plant across all my games. No, you have to fucking spend $60 to get it already. All right, anyways. I think we can move on from it. I'm sure there'll be other people talking about it during that second rant. Let's see here. Haven't had a bad week like this in ages. I haven't had a bad week like this ever. That was my fiance talking. Sorry about my misfortunes. Yeah, it's all right, the BitBlock. I mean, it's life. One grandfather passed away this week, and I was in the room when it happened, which, part of me is glad I was there. Part of me is like, I can't get that image out of my head. And then I have my other grandpa have a stroke. He's okay. He's stable. I'm not sure on the recovery process yet. I'm going to go see him tomorrow. I don't know. Sometimes you can fully recover from strokes. Sometimes you can't. So we'll see. I just know he's stable, so he's not going to be dying right now or anything. But it's been a rough week. I'll give it to myself. Damn it. The FBI wants to know your location. Don't you mean the Nintendo ninjas want to know my location? They want to show up here and what is it, that the Japanese thing where they honorably chop your head off or whatever. Let's see here. What's fun about having one woman? What the? What is going on with this chat, Yulia? I'm 12 women in one. That's what you're saying. You're so good that it's like having multiple women at the same time. Benedict Boda says, should I get Starlink, Pokemon, or Smash? I know Smash and Pokemon aren't out yet, but we have seen a lot of gameplay. I want all three, but for now I must choose one. Which do you think I should choose? I mean, it's hard for me. I don't know your gaming preferences. I mean, Starlink's really, really damn good. If you get that, get the digital deluxe version for $60. The digital deluxe $80. Just get the digital version for $60. But are you a big Pokemon fan? Are you a big Smash Bros fan? I don't think you can go wrong with either of the three, but it's all about, they're very different games, right? You're talking about kind of an easier to get into Pokemon RPG game. You're talking about a fighting game that's vastly different than all the other fighting games on the market. Brawlout's kind of similar, but not really, if we're being honest. Just not really. And then you're talking about Starlink, which is like a space exploration game. What one is the best for you is going to be highly subjective. I mean, that's like asking, should I buy Call of Duty? Should I buy Madden? Should I buy Assassin's Creed? Should I buy Mario? I don't know. They're all different. Which one do you seem to enjoy the most? You've seen gameplay for all three, I'm sure. I can't really tell you without knowing what your tastes are. I could tell you what I would choose, of the three. I mean, if you really care about Piranha Plant, obviously you got to fucking choose Smash Bros. I mean, I would just get Starlink, and then personally, because I just really love Starlink, and then get the other two games when you can afford them, after the holidays. Because I assume you'll be able to afford them later, caveat, unless you're planning on picking up new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe and Fire Emblem, because that's just going to push your purchases back even further. But if you're not planning to pick up those two games early next year, then yeah, I would just get Starlink now and get the other two early next year. But that's just me. That's what I would choose based on my personal taste. Doesn't mean that that's what you should choose. Does that make sense? Like when I review a game, I'm doing it based on my personal taste and my personal preferences. I can't actually tell individuals what they should be buying. It's funny, like how people go from like the rating system, the star ratings, the point rating systems to, should you buy, should you rent, or should you trash it? You don't actually know if someone should buy, rent, or trash something because you don't know you don't know everyone who's reading and or watching your reviews' individual taste. So you could be like, in my opinion, you should trash it, but somebody might love it. So I always look at reviews as I'm here to give you my thoughts on it. And if you agree with my thoughts, if you have watched my other reviews, and you seem to generally agree with the way I think on video games, then absolutely, listen to my advice. But if you have never seen my reviews, you don't know what to think, my advice might not work for you. So it's kind of the way I view it. I need V-Bucks. It's been a rough week. I need V-Bucks, really. V-Bucks? Is that your solution to everything? So Yulia is Mama Prime. Sure, I guess. She's the love of my life, so I guess if you want to call her that. Yulia's into some kinky shit. You don't even know. When it's December 1st and Yulia has a rough week. What? Let me see. I joined here, Nate, yelling bullshit at a plant. I see the chat is acting horny as hell. Great start. Welcome to Nintendo Prime chats. Super hardcore and they'll destroy me. At least I wrecked them in Splatoon and Mario Kart. See, they wreck you and you'd be like, fine, you wrecked me in Smash. Let's put Splatoon in. Now who's going to win? What up? Full sympathy to you, Nate, and your family. I'm deeply sorry for you guys. Thanks. Yeah, it's a tough week. Bitblock says, important question. Would you rather have your wiener bitten by a piranha plant or stepped on by King DDD? See, I feel like King DDD's light on his feet, right? Like, you see his moves in Smash and in Kirby? He's got a little float to him, right? So I feel like King DDD's got a little lightness to his steps. I know that doesn't matter, for the weight, but it feels like it should. So honestly, I think a piranha plant's just gonna latch on my dick and not let go. I mean, let's just be honest. Here's the penis. Here's the piranha plant. It's gonna go like this, and it's just gonna freaking rip the whole thing off. You just know it. If you've ever seen a piranha plant in action, like when it clamps on something, it does not let go. Whereas like King DDD is just gonna step and move on, right? I mean, what's the worst kiss? I piss pancakes for the next year? I don't know. Can't be any worse than slamming it in a car door, right? I'm still in depression about Waluigi. Poor Waluigi. Poor Waluigi. He'll get in Smash when Sakurai's no longer running Smash Bros. That's fair to argue. It's clearly partially done before launch. That's why it's free before it's done. That's the logic here. That's not the logic here. Do you not see what Nintendo's doing? That's not why it's free before it's done. Nintendo is trying to push Nintendo Switch sales in December and January. It's nothing but a greed move. Nintendo is trying to please their investors. Oh, man. If you can't see that, then you are completely blinded by fanboyism. Like, completely blinded. You are biting into the Nintendo cookie and believing their bullshit. Don't do that. What they are doing is a shady business practice to push numbers for a specific time period and then charge everyone else money after the fact. It's completely shady. If it doesn't bother you, I can't make it bother. Because the thing is, Ultimate Keymaster, you're going to buy the game, so it's not going to be a problem for you. When it's not going to be a problem for you, you're not going to see the problem with it, right? Now imagine that you weren't going to have the money to buy the game till February. How would you feel then? That if you had just happened to have the money, say a week earlier, you could have got that character for free, but now you have to have extra money to have that character. Imagine. So you're thinking about it in so much of, well, I'm going to have the game, so it doesn't matter. You're not thinking about the people that aren't going to have the game and how they're going to feel when they go to buy a $25 season pass and realize there's an extra character they don't have that other people have that didn't even buy the damn season pass. Anyways. Yeah, see, a Sweet Life deal, Brando gets it. I agree with that. Temporary free DLC. Yeah, temporary free content that you already paid money for is bullshit. It's complete bull. Temporary free content we're going to charge people for later is bullshit. It shouldn't exist. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's garbage. They should either charge everybody or charge nobody. It should either be, when it releases in February, you have to buy the character. Or it's just a free character they're adding to the game after the fact because they couldn't get it done in time for the game to launch. Anyways. But you're glad we're getting more. Well, of course we're going to get more DLC. Did you not see how they did DLC on the Wii U and 3DS version? There was never a question of if we were going to get DLC with Smash Bros. That was never a question. We were never needing to worry about getting DLC. The worry was, how are they going to deliver the DLC? Piranha Plants delivered like garbage. Everything else, it's fine. $25 for everything. It sounds like they're not going to be any Echo characters, so that alone is going to make those characters worth more money to some people. So you can buy them individually if you happen to not like most of them, but you only like one, so then you can save money and not spend $25. Like me, I don't know if I'm going to buy the $25 pass until after all the characters are announced, which we won't probably know until 2020. Then I'll decide if I want to spend the $25. But what's going to push me is if like the first DLC character is Banjo-Kazooie, and I'm like, oh shit. So do I just buy the pass hoping it's going to keep being awesome, or do I just buy the individual character? Because if you buy the individual character, then you might as well buy all the rest of them individually too, because you're not going to save any money then. But Yulia updated her status. Do I want to know what it's updated to? This is a Facebook update. Honey, I got no issue with your status, honey. I'm just saying you might want to be. You're just gonna cause my family is gonna come at you hardcore. I'm just letting you know. Sometimes you got to keep things to yourself or between us. All right, let's see here. What's worse, is there a shortage on physical games because of the holidays and the consumer loses out on DLC? That would fucking suck. Imagine that Smash Bros. Is sold out because they can't keep up with demand for the physical cart, and people don't want to buy it digitally, and then they can't fucking even restock it till February. God, would that suck? That's not even a situation I even thought about. And you might be like, oh, that won't happen. It'll happen with Octopath. Now, granted, you would assume Nintendo's going to be more prepared for Smash demand, but what if Pokemon demand is super high as well, and Smash demand is super high, and demand for all these games is super high, and Nintendo just literally cannot make the cartridges fast enough? That's a possibility. It hasn't happened often. I should say that. I'm not going to say it hasn't happened yet. For a little while, it was actually hard to get a physical copy of Breath of the Wild. But that was rectified within a month. Granted, it was hard to get a Switch, too. But I only agree with that if the character gets released early. But it's not. Everyone gets it at once as regular DLC. It's not regular fucking DLC if some people get it for free and some people have to pay. Okay, the day the fucking character lands, some people get it for free. Everyone else has to pay money for it. That's not regular fucking DLC. Regular fucking DLC, everyone would have to pay for it. Everyone would have to pay for it. The fact that some people get it for free makes it irregular DLC. Yeah, everyone gets it the same day, and some get it for free and some don't. That's the fucking problem. It shouldn't be split like that. You're literally drawing a line in the sand and be like, hey, you know what? Because you bought it last month. You get it for free. Oh, you bought the game yesterday and the DLC came out today? Fuck you. Fuck you. Give me $6 extra. That is such flawed logic. It doesn't matter if you get it early or if you get it on the same fucking day. It's ridiculous either way. No one should get... Okay, when you spend $60 on a game, right? Whether you spend that $60 today or whether you spend that $60 fucking 8 years from now, the content you get in that game should be the exact same as the content you got 8 years back when you spent $60 on the fucking game. So, if you bought Mario Kart 8 Deluxe last year for $60, you should get the same fucking content in it this year for $60. And guess what? You do. What you're saying is it's okay to give people more for their money and then make people down the road, when Smash should be cheaper, get less for their money. How does this make any logical sense, Ultimate Keymaster? How does it make any sense to say, yeah, because you bought it, the game in the first 2 months, you get extra content that everyone else has to pay extra for? That's not okay. That's not a business practice we should be applauding. That's like saying, fuck it. All that free content they added to Splatoon 2 in the first 3 months, fuck you guys. If you're past the first 3 months, you gotta pay for it now. I mean, it's almost as ridiculous as the fact you gotta pay to play online, but that's a whole nother... That's an entirely separate debate from this. Where you got to play Splatoon 2 free online for the past year and a half, and now you gotta pay. But, anyways. And it's not just Splatoon 2, of course. It's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. A lot of examples. The sad thing is, I've seen no one else talk about this BS. You're not going to see people talk about it. You want to know why? People are either just going to say they're generally disappointed with the Direct. And people will give them flack for it, and that's the end of it. Some people are going to say they're extremely excited about the Direct and extremely excited for Smash Bros. Those videos are going to get tons of likes, and no one's really going to say anything. No one wants to make an individual video on this, including myself, because you know what's going to happen when I make an individual video on this outside of a live stream? Do you know what the dislike ratio is going to be? Do you know how many people are going to unsubscribe from my channel because I am saying this is bullshit? Do you know what's going to happen to Player Essence when he finds out I made a video on this and he's A-OK with the practice, and he's going to call me on my bullshit and talk about other, like other people did on other games that are way worse? It doesn't matter that other games are way worse. I'm not talking about other games. I'm talking about Smash Bros. I don't give a fuck what happened in Blaze Blue, Cross Tag Team Battle 18,000. I don't care what happened in DBZ Fighters. I don't give a fuck what Street Fighter and Tekken are doing. I'm not talking about those games. And guess what? All those business practices are shady as fuck as well. Just because they're worse doesn't make the Smash Bros. One any better. Like, you can't... That's like saying if my mom dies tomorrow, right? God bless my mom's soul. She's closer to me than my grandfather. So that makes the fact my grandfather died better. You know what? My grandfather passed away earlier this week. Not as big of a deal because my mom died tomorrow. Like... no, it still really fucking sucks that my grandfather died. And yeah, it really fucking sucks that my mom died. And while that's worse for me, it still sucks my grandpa died. It doesn't make my grandpa's death better or easier. Like, and that's what you're saying. Like, oh, yeah, because this game does shittier stuff. Okay, cool. Fuck it. Most of the games on my fucking phone do shittier stuff. So I guess AAA gaming's just fine, right? There's no issues. Why call it any bullshit? Because phone games are worse. Fuck it. Fire Emblem Heroes is a bunch of bullshit. It's a fucking gacha game. Oh, so DLC, Day 1 DLC and Fire Emblem, Three Houses. We should just be fine with that because it's fucking worse somewhere else. Like, anyways, sorry. I know that I've gone. I mean, it's because I'm catching up on comments, so the topic keeps coming up. Eventually, I'm just going to skip everything and go to the most recent comments if this keeps coming up, because I think I've made my case pretty clear, and so far, no one has said anything that really refutes how shady this shit is. It's either people say it's okay or it doesn't bother me. If it doesn't bother you and you think it's okay, fine. Doesn't change the fact it really fucking bothers me. To the point that, like, I almost don't want to buy Smash Bros. Over it. I almost don't want to pick up Super Smash Bros. because of that one particular fucking thing they're doing that is just super fun. Yeah, I'm not saying it's not worth the money. I'm not saying there's not oodles of content. We realize this. We realize Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has more content in it than most games do, period. But Jesus, man. I shouldn't get an advantage because I bought the game at launch versus someone who buys it a year from now. I should not have a financial edge over someone who buys the game a year from now for the same price I paid for it, but get less content for their money. Don't look at this as free DLC. That's the problem. You're looking at this as it's free DLC, but it's not free because they're going to charge for it later. So it's not actually free DLC. What it is a pre-order bonus. It is a 2-month pre-order bonus, just not being called a pre-order bonus. It's a, yeah, if you buy the game now, you get this for free. But if you don't buy it now, you got to pay for it later. So you get more content if you buy the game in the first 2 months than you get buying it at any other point in the game's life. I don't think there's any argument someone can. Hell, I'd like to have Player Essence on here right now debating me and saying this practice is okay. I'd love to hear all of the comparisons and crap he's going to bring up that are completely irrelevant to the point. And the thing is, I'm actually okay with how they're handling the rest of Smash's DLC. That's the thing. It's just this one thing. Everything else I think is fine. They told us it's going to be 5 characters, 5 stages of music. They told us we're going to sell each individually in a pack for this price, or all of them for one price. Done deal. And they told us it's all going to be out by February 2020. Done deal. That's all I need to know. Easy. Way better than what they did with Wii U and 3DS. Except for the fucking Piranha Plant. The Piranha Plant's even worse than any of the fucking shit they did on 3DS and Wii U. Alright. What do you think of the new Yoshi gameplay? I thought it wasn't going to be that good, and that Kirby was going to be better. And now I think Yoshi looks really fun. I think that my general takeaway from the Yoshi Crafted World gameplay from Nintendo Treehouse is, damn, does it look good. Like, I don't know if it's super challenging or not. Like, they keep talking about how challenging it is, but, you know, they're playing early levels, and you don't really know. You can't really judge the challenge on early levels in Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze are easy, too. So, you can't really judge based on early stages if it's easy or not. But, damn, does the game look gorgeous. Does it look extremely well polished. It looks super original. And it looks like it has a lot more love and care put into it than Kirby Star Allies did. Not that Kirby Star Allies didn't have love and care, but it was clearly a game made under a smaller budget and a tighter window. Yoshi's Crafted World was delayed for a reason, and it was delayed for this level of polish. So, I think it looks great, and probably a day one pickup for me. Because I don't think I'll be able to get a review copy of it. So probably a day one pickup. See, Ryan Lisa, there are a lot of games that do pre-order bonuses. It's normal. It doesn't matter if it's normal. It doesn't matter if it's fucking normal. There's a lot of people that drive drunk, too. It's normal. So should we all do it? Like, just because pre-order bonuses are a thing doesn't mean it's an okay thing to happen. Pre-order bonuses have always been a shitty practice. Because what is it pushing? It's pushing pre-order culture. Why is it pushing pre-order culture? Because it wants your money before you even know if the game is good. It wants you to spend your money before you can even possibly ascertain if the game is good. That's why pre-order culture is so huge. They want you to spend the money before the game's even done. So the pre-order bonuses incentive has nothing to do, like when there's pre-order bonuses for a game, they're not trying to be pro-consumer. They're trying to get your money before you could possibly know if the game is good. And they fuck people over hardcore. Like, Assassin's Creed is one of the worst series with that pre-order bonus bullshit. It's like impossible to get all of the content in any Assassin's Creed game ever, because so much of it is tied down to retailer exclusive DLC, or timed exclusive DLC, or platform exclusive DLC, or pre-order here and it's exclusive, but you pre-order here, you get something else. You can't fucking get it all in one game. It's all bullshit. All of it exists to get the most amount of money from you as fast as these fucking people can. That's all it is. And heck, you know what pre-order DLC really is? It's cut content from the game that they're telling you is a bonus. Oh, hey, we cut this content from the game, but it's a bonus when you pre-order from us. Like, just put the fucking content in the game. Doesn't need to be a fucking pre-order bonus. Piranha Plant is Piranha Plant's awesome, by the way. Like, the actual character, I love it. I think the actual character is pretty freaking sweet. Let me see here. Hope Banjo's in that DLC, dude. I hope so too. What's going on with Nintendo Talk? What do you mean what's going on with Nintendo Talk? I don't really talk to him a whole lot, so I didn't know there was anything to go on. Advanced Media Network tweeted out, "I'm still hungry." I'm always hungry. I shouldn't say that. I was full earlier today. I had some lasagna, but my sister made some lasagna for the family gathering, so I had some of that. But I am starting to get hungry now. I'm also thirsty. I guess I still have some of this black cherry energizing kickstart for some reason. Maybe I should super chat myself and do a shot. You know what? That sounds like a good idea. All right. Hopefully, I think I've got it. I think I've got the money. I don't have a ton of money, but I think I got enough to. Yeah, take a shot, Nate. Feel like I need to get some hard shit out, some harder shit. Let's go for the old kinky.
Take a shot, Nate.
Take a shot, Nate. There it was. I also saw another super chat in there from Dynamic Kirby. Give me a second here. Cheers, Nate. Cheers, Nintendo Prime. Whoa. You got Dynamic Kirby who says, sometimes people can't tell criticism from bashing. Yeah, that happens. Were there people in the chat thinking I was bashing Smash? Was that a thing that was happening? Me being critical of how they're handling that DLC versus me bashing Smash Bros? I'm not bashing Smash Bros. Not at all. You could argue I'm bashing a business practice that's being used with Smash Bros. But I'm not actually bashing the game. Cheers. RE4 Wii 2018, Nate, drinking is bad. Be clean. Here's what I can say to that. Fuck you. I'll be drinking until the day I die. Shouldn't say that. If it gets to the point my doctor tells me I can't drink anymore, obviously then I won't. But I have no liver issues and no drinking related health concerns. So, what's going on? You found my weakness. I'm just glancing through some of the prior people talking here. How much does DDD weigh? You got 3 blackout wins, nice. Blah 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 blah. What new 3 NES games are we getting next? I don't know off the top of my head. We know the 3 we're getting this month and the 3 we're getting next month. It's on their official website, Nintendo Switch Online website. I don't know which games they are off the top of my head. When it releases in February, you have to buy the character, which is exactly what they're doing. No, it's fucking not, because if you fucking buy the game in December and January, you don't have to pay for the fucking character in February. It's not the fucking same thing. They're charging people who buy the game outside of December and January for a character that people that bought the game in December and January got for free. Basically, what you're saying is because you happen to buy the game. So, here, let me put it this way. Are you entitled to have that character more than anyone else because you bought the game in December and January? Do you feel that you are entitled to have that character? Because you spent $60 in the first 2 months the game was on the market. So you're entitled to have that character. Everyone else that spent the same amount of money on the game as you, but just didn't buy it in the launch window, nah, they should have to pay more. That's okay. Because I got it for free. Fuck them. Anyways, if I don't have enough money for food, getting one more character in Smash is the least of my worries. What are you talking about, PB? Let me see here. Yeah, you have to also register the game too. That's always great. Ryan Lista, doesn't matter if you want to call it a pre-order bonus. The last 2 months, pre-order bonuses are full of shit. They're full of shit and shouldn't exist. Pre-order bonuses are full of shit. Do I need to make a video about how shitty they are? I can link you to the 17,000 other videos out there that explain how shitty pre-order bonuses are and how anti-consumer pre-order bonuses are. But, you know, if you think pre-order bonuses are okay, it's not going to matter to you. I mean, that's the bottom line. The bottom line is pre-order bonuses are fucking bullshit. They're all fucking bullshit. There's not a single pre-order bonus that's good. Not a single fucking one. Not a single fucking one. Oh, well, the only pre-order bonus is if I get it at GameStop, I get a fucking poster. Guess what? Everyone who bought the fucking game should get that fucking poster. It's fucking anti-consumer bullshit. Anyways. I'll take my stress out by ranting. Nah, dude, I was gonna end up ranting on this fucking shit regardless of what happened this week. It's fucking bullshit. I hate this practice. This practice is the kind of shit in the industry I fucking hate. I absolutely, utterly deplore this kind of business practice. Fucking hate it. It is the scummiest of scummy shit in the entire fucking industry. I literally just said earlier, I would rather they charge everybody for this fucking character than give it away for free. For the people who got it in the first 2 months. I would rather, as a day one purchaser of fucking Smash Bros, have to pay for Piranha Plant than get it for free, knowing that anybody who buys Smash Bros from February on has to pay for the character. I would rather have to pay for the character too. I would rather it be equal consumers. Like equal consumer, well, what is it? Worth, value. Equal, you know, I would rather it just be part of the fucking DLC. It could be one of the 5 fucking characters they're giving us. I would rather it be that than what they're doing. What they're doing is saying because I bought the game day one, I'm entitled to have more content than someone who buys it 3 months later. Fucking bullshit. It's just like pre-order bonuses. Should fucking matter if I pre-ordered a game or not. I should not get more content than somebody who spent the same amount of fucking money on the game as I did. Period. Period. I don't give a shit that I pre-ordered. That makes me... No, it doesn't make you fucking special. Pre-ordering... There's almost no point to pre-ordering games. You guys know this, right? There's hardly ever video game shortages. Hardly ever video game shortages. There's literally no point to pre-ordering games. But why do people still do it? Because of pre-order bonuses. What are the pre-order bonuses about? Taking your fucking money before you even know if you like the game. You know how many people have been burned by pre-order bonuses where they fucking bought a game and then they played it and it was fucking dog shit and they got pissed that they blew $60 on a fucking game over a pre-order bonus, but now they can't get their goddamn money back? You know how much that is? How many people have been fucking burned by these practices? And I'm not saying that you're going to get burned and hate Smash Bros because of this fucking business practice. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the business practice itself shouldn't even fucking exist. It doesn't matter if you end up loving the game over and that business practice exists. It doesn't make the business practice any less fucking shady. None of it is pro-consumer. All of it is pro-business. It's all pro-business. It's, here's our goodwill for 2 months. Now, fuck everyone else. Give us your money. Give us your credit card information. Tell your mommy and daddies that you need to buy this fucking character that your friend who got it for Christmas didn't have to fucking pay 1 goddamn cent for. Shitty practice, man. Brandon Allen Network has it. He says, I already paid $65. I'm assuming that's with tax. For the Smash Ultimate digitally. So I paid for the fighter. And 3 months later, when people get the game for the same price as me, they're getting less. That's fucked up. That's the entire point. I should not be getting more content for $60 than someone who buys the game fucking 3 months from now. It should not be. That should not exist. That should not exist. I should not get more content than somebody else who paid the same price. Heck, I don't even like digital deluxe versions of shit that has exclusive content. But at least then you could argue, well, I paid to have that exclusive content, right? You're not paying to get this fucking plant. You're being handed the plant in reward for you buying the game earlier than some other people might be able to. And why is that? Because Nintendo's trying to sell as many fucking Switches as they can in November, December, and January, so their financial report at the end of January looks fucking pristine. They want people to be like, fuck, we hit our 20 million goal by the end of January. The thing is, it's probably going to fucking work. That's the thing. It's going to work. I mean, they're going to get away with it. You already know that. No one, I shouldn't say no one. A lot of people are still going to buy Smash Bros. Anyway. So they're going to get away with the business practice. Just because you get away with something doesn't make it okay. Like, I've admitted this before. I cheated on a few tests in high school. Doesn't make the fact I got away with it okay. Just because I got away with it and didn't get busted and never got caught and never got in trouble doesn't mean that the act of doing it was okay. Didn't harm anyone. No one got hurt. Doesn't make it okay. Game Bomber. This man needs to calm down. He doesn't have to get the extra content, scammy or not. I get his argument, but don't buy the DLC until you know more. The fuck are you talking about? Don't buy the DLC till you know more. I'm getting Smash Bros. Day one. I get the fucking character for free. My point was that I shouldn't get it for free while others have to fucking pay for it. So what the fuck are you talking about? This isn't part of their deal. This isn't one of the 5 characters in their DLC plan. This isn't part of the $25 DLC. This is a character we already know about that they told me because I got the game day one. I get it for fucking free. But everyone else who gets it, 2 months later doesn't get it for free. They have to pay extra. Why? Because fuck consumers. They can't just give us the character they're already working on that my money's already paid for. Fuck no. They need an extra bit of money from everybody. This is literally a shady fucking microtransaction pre-order DLC bullshit is what it is. Put it this way. I bought the game in December, right? My friend buys it in, say, March, right? After the DLC characters already come out, right? Well, I got the game in January, and I got an update to the game in February that came with my purchase that I got in December that gives me this character. My friend buys the game in March, right? All hunky-dory. All hunky-dory. Except he bought the game, and he fucking doesn't get the same game I do. Why? Why? Because he has cut fucking content. Piecemeal content he has to pay for. It's already out. I got it for free, but it's not in his game. Why? It's cut the fuck out and told him, you got to pay extra for this. This is basically day one DLC. You guys realize that, right? It's day one DLC that the pre-order people get for free and everyone else has to pay for it, and fuck you. Like, this is bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. I shouldn't be getting content that someone who buys the game in fucking March doesn't get. Unless I paid extra for that content. Like if you bought the digital deluxe version or something. But anyways, I think I've made my point. This is why I don't want to make an individual video on it. So I'm just going to repeat these same arguments, and people are just either going to be like, oh yeah, don't fucking buy the game, or don't fucking... Like, everyone just misses the point when you have these conversations about shady business practices. They're just like, well, I'm going to get the game day one, it don't fucking matter to me. Well, if it fucking bothers you so much, you don't fucking buy the game. Like... And people wonder why the EAs of the world get away with the bullshit they do when we're just going to be like, hey, Nintendo, you're doing a very similar fucking thing that EA would fucking do. Fuck it. It's okay. Why? Because you're Nintendo. I almost wanted to sound like Black Bomb there for a second. In his video when he was criticizing Nintendo, and he's like, hey, it's okay because it's Nintendo. I remember that fucking video you made. I disagree with a lot of the points you made in the video, but that little phrase you said always stuck with me. It's okay because it's Nintendo. Quantum did a $2 donation I missed earlier that said, take another shot, motherfucker. Got it. Also, Edward did one as well that says shots. Got you, Ed. Sorry I'm 10 minutes late. For some reason, I didn't hear the audio cue. It's supposed to do... Oh, it wasn't a $5 one. That's why. That's right. Sorry. Only text-to-speech only works at $5 or more. Cheers. It would get really annoying if I enabled it for lower than that. There's times when I get spammed with like $1 super chats, which are great. But then like having that freaking text-to-speech spam is crazy. Would it be impossible to get the Piranha Plant in Smash 30 years from now because the shop server will be down? I don't know. Probably. That's always a thing with online content. I mean, they'll probably re-release a version of Smash by then on some system that will have everything. But, you know, like the next Switch might come out like day one. Or like, you know, like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, right? They could release a version that has all the content, you know, on the next system. So, it's hard to know. Stop acting triggered over a plant. I'm not triggered over a fucking plant. I'm triggered over a business practice. That's the thing. It's got nothing to do with what the content is. It has to do with the delivery method of that content. It's a business practice. Exactly. What Braden Allen noted, it doesn't matter what it is. If you get it for free by buying the game in the first 2 months, it should just be free for everyone. It shouldn't be charged for anyone. And if you're going to charge people, then they should charge everyone. That's right. I don't think we're entitled to have a character for free because we bought the game in December and January. I don't think that entitles us to a free character. Sorry if you feel that you're entitled to something that someone else spent the same amount of money on later and doesn't get. I know life's not fair. Life doesn't need to be fair. But this isn't about being pro-consumer. This is all about a shady business practice that, again, they're going to get away with. You know? Because not enough people are going to bitch. There won't be enough people bitching to change their mind. There won't be enough backlash. I mean, look at all the backlash over Waluigi and nothing happened. So, I mean. No, my mom didn't actually die. I was talking, why do you think I said tomorrow? I was using a hypothetical situation. Like, you know, that would be a worse deal for me than my grandfather dying, but it doesn't make my grandfather dying any less shitty. So it was just a really bad real life kind of comparison to like just because other companies do things worse doesn't make what happened here any better. Let's see here. If you could make a game, what would its genre be, and what would the plot be about? The genre would be action adventure because those are like an open world action adventure game because those are like my favorite games. And then the plot. You know, if you know anything about the Sword of Truth series of books, I would like a plot similar to that. I don't want to go too deep into it because I don't want to spoil the books for anyone because I haven't even finished them all. It's like there's so many. But the Sword of Truth series, the story in that is phenomenal. Fuck the movie, by the way. The movie doesn't matter. The movie's not good, is what I'm saying. But the books are really good. My fiance is home, I think. Honey, is that you? I assume so, because it was Aiden. He would have already came in here looking for my Switch. This is as bad as Player Essence because you seem to point out Smash and try to disregard everything else, acting like a keyboard warrior over a plant. No one requires you to do it. Games do it all the time, and it's just as shitty every time they do it. Worse than Mewtwo's free download? Yeah, dude. No. The Mewtwo thing's bullshit too, right? Or is it Mew? I think it's Mew. That you have to buy the Pokeball Plus to get. That's literally cut content from the game to force you to buy a Pokeball Plus. That's bullshit too. It's not about what's worse. Like, that being quote-unquote worse doesn't make the Smash Bros. Situation any better. They're both super shitty business practices. Fuck it. You know what? Tomorrow, I'll make a video on it. I'll make a video on Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Smash Bros. The two biggest issues with these games that no one's talking about right now. And that's Mew, and that's the Piranha Plant. I'll make a video. Screw it. Screw it. You know what? I wasn't going to do it. Why am I worried about fan backlash? I get fan backlash all the time. Let's go. Let's go. Let's make that video tomorrow. Put it up on the whiteboard so I don't forget. There we go. Got it up on the board so I don't forget to make a video on that tomorrow. Or it might be a video I make tomorrow for Monday. Buck Bumble Essence, that was my point. I literally said that earlier, that it's not a free character because you have to buy the game in the first place to get it. That's literally a point I already made earlier in the stream. Remember when bonuses weren't cut into DLCs? I remember when DLC didn't even exist. I often wonder if gaming's gotten better that DLC's a thing, or was it better when there was no such fucking thing as DLC? We just had expansion packs. Ask Player Essence to debate this. He might agree, though. The thing is, if he agrees with me, then there's not really a debate to be had. I heard it's only 99 cents or $1.99 for Piranha Plant. One, they haven't announced the pricing, and two, I don't care if it's fucking 10 cents. It's still bullshit. It's the principle of the business practice more so than whatever it's going to end up costing. But they haven't actually announced the price point. Let me see here. I'm trying to make sure I hit all the ats here. I feel that way about collector's edition too. I buy my games digitally, so I can only get limited edition items through eBay or something. I mean, if it's like a physical item you get, I don't view that as crappy, because the extra money you spent is basically just buying the physical item. As long as you're not getting extra content in the game, that's really my big thing. Let's see here. It's their fault. They had a choice, but they didn't have pre-order shit. It's a fucking choice. I don't even know what you're arguing anymore, man. Are you agreeing with me or disagreeing with me? I can't even tell. All right. Let me see here. Ryan Lista getting on it too. I see. You think you deserve the character for free because they were already working on it. That's not what I fucking said. I said everyone gets it for free or everyone pays for it. I'm saying you shouldn't get special fucking treatment because you bought the game in the first 2 months. See, Ryan Lista, the whole time you have argued, your primary argument is pre-order bonuses are a thing. It's like a pre-order bonus. What you have told me, Ryan Lista, by saying that is you are okay with pre-order bonuses as a thing. You are already okay with a super shitty business practice. So if you're already okay with it, why would you have a problem with what they're doing with Smash? Of course you don't have a problem with it. And you know I have lots of love for you, Ryan. And this is not any hate. This is me vehemently disagreeing with your viewpoint that this is okay. I didn't say that we deserve it for free because they're already working on it. I mentioned that as a point of if we are getting it for free, then everyone should get it for free. Or everyone should be charged for it. There shouldn't be a difference. It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter when you buy the game on your access to a character. It should either be everyone's charged for it or everyone gets it for free. The end. But you're okay with pre-order content. You're okay with pre-order bonuses. So to you, you're basically saying it's okay to cut content from a game and give it to some people for free and charge everyone else from it. I realize it's not cut content, but is it? It might be. Because if I bought it in December and January, it's just part of my purchase. Yeah, you got to register it and stuff, but it's part of my purchase. It's part of the $60 price I paid to have that character. But it's not part of future people's $60 purchases. So like you said, it's like a pre-order bonus, which is bullshit. Pre-order bonuses are bullshit. The pre-order bonuses are complete bullshit. When the pre-order bonuses involve anything about you paying the same money as somebody else but getting more content, is bullshit. It's always been bullshit. It's a shady business practice. You're just looking, like, I can't tell you why you like pre-order bonuses or why you think pre-order bonuses are okay. You probably grew up in the era of everything has a pre-order bonus. So you don't even know what life was like before pre-order bonuses even existed. And even then, I'm not even dreaming for the olden days here. I'm not dreaming for gaming to be the way it was 15 years ago. I think games today are far superior to what they were 15 years ago. It doesn't mean I have to be okay with the business practices associated with those games. I mean, they showed off the entire moveset of the character. So is it finished? Is it not finished? None of us actually know. It could be finished. Maybe it's not fully balanced yet or something. I don't fucking know. But it could just be like every other fighting game that's not fully balanced and they patch it later. It definitely has the full moveset, though, because they showed its full moveset. They even showed its Final Smash and stuff. So it's clearly a character that's playable right now on the back end. They can play it as right now. What I'm guessing is they've already printed the cartridges, and the character was done before. Well, it wasn't done until they printed the cartridges. So instead of making it like a day one update, they're like, hey, you know what? We can encourage. That's even worse than how to think about it, because it could be something they could just have as a day one update because they couldn't get it on the cart before they were printed. But now they could just be like, well, you know what? We could just charge people for this character 2 months from now and give it everyone else for free. And hey, hell, we'll release it in February. We'll release the character in February to make everyone think this character's not done. Even though they clearly showed the character playable, they clearly showed its entire moveset, they clearly showed the character's been fleshed out. It just might not be balanced properly. That's maybe the only argument. Maybe it's not balanced. Maybe they don't have the damage meters and the range all perfect on it yet. Let me tell you, Smash Bros. Gets updates to fix balancing issues all the time. It's not even... I guarantee you when it launches, some of the characters are going to be OP as hell and get nerfed later. So some characters are going to be really shitty and get buffed later. This is just what happens with these games. They showed a fully playable, fully working character right now. More than a month before the game came out. It's done. The character's fucking done. They even show multiple skins for the goddamn character. The character's done. Either way, I don't really want to argue about, is it shadier because the character's done, or do you want to fully believe the character? It doesn't really matter. It doesn't change the overall premise, I guess, that it's just a really crappy business practice. Kind of sucks this overtook the whole stream. I was really hoping for some other questions to get in here. It's going to be $1 or $2. Cry me a fucking river. Oh, PB. Oh, PB. And Nintendo Switch Online is only $20. Cry me a fucking river that you got nothing extra for your money but some NES games that you might not give a shit about. Then you might say, well, then just don't spend the $20. Yeah, then take away all my online that's peer-to-peer that I pay for. Like, the last 5 matches I've done in Splatoon 2, I was hosting. They charged me to use the internet I pay for me to host an online match. Think about that. But it's only $20, so fuck it. Who cares? Guys, this is what... Remember when I talked about Nintendo becoming EA? And by the way, I'm not saying Nintendo is EA. This is the shit that everyone just passed off. EA didn't become EA overnight. They started with this small little shit. And then they grew. And then they grew. And got worse. And worse. And worse. And worse. Till it got to the point where it boiled over with Battlefront 2. It's only $1. It's only 20. It's only this. It's only that. Yeah, it's only that now. And if you just accept it now, what you're telling them is, well, they were okay with it then. How much can we get away with the next time? And the next time. And the time after that. And the time after that. More and more and more. Early adopters are charged for dealing with glitches. Not with Nintendo games. Not with Nintendo games. Since when has a Nintendo game released that was a glitchy hot mess? Tell me. Tell me the last time a Nintendo game released that was a glitchy hot mess. Hell, tell me the last time a Smash Bros. Game released that was a glitchy hot mess, since we're talking about Smash. It's never happened. In the history of Smash, they have never released a Smash Bros. Game that was full of glitches. It's just never happened. I'm not saying glitches don't exist, but glitches that commonly occur through normal methods of playing the game. Hell, Ocarina of Time has a zillion glitches that 99.9% of people never experienced because it requires doing things that are abnormal to normal gameplay. Anyways, let's see it this way. The Piranha Plant is a DLC. It costs money to make, not part of the game. If you buy it early, the developer offers for free as a thanks for doing so. Again, that's pre-order DLC. Fuck no. I don't deserve that okay, Piranha Plant's not done. Let's just say they announced it was Piranha Plant. We didn't see what looked like a fully finished character with multiple skins in Smash Bros. Matches fighting against multiple characters. Let's just assume we didn't see a fully functioning character, right? Let's just say they just announced what the first DLC character is going to be, and if you buy the game now, in January or February, you get it for free. That's still bullshit. I should not get more for my money than someone who buys it in February, March, April, May, June, July, August, in fucking 2028. I shouldn't get more content than other people that spent the same amount of money on the game. It shouldn't happen. Should not be a thing. I don't even care if it's freaking 10 cents. They shouldn't have to pay that 10 cents. Put that fucking 10 cents somewhere else in your life. Put it in your gas tank. It's still bullshit. And I know, MacMan, you're saying Ryan's right. Ryan might be right in that the character's not done. But he's saying, because what you have to understand is it's not about if the character is done or not for Ryan. Ryan's saying the practice itself is fine. He's trying to re-explain his entire reasoning that it's okay that this is happening, without explaining to me how pre-order DLC is okay. How is pre-order DLC okay? Why do you think it's okay for you to get more content than somebody else that spends the same money on the game? If you can come up to me with a logical, like you're saying, you're rewarded for rewarded for fucking what? It's the $60 you spend in December and January is worth the same amount of fucking money as if you spent it in February, March, April, May, June. Rewarded for what exactly? What are you being rewarded for? Because you bought the game early? It's not a reward. It's an incentive. Stop looking at it as a reward. They are incentivizing more people to purchase the game quicker so they can make their numbers look good. And then when they no longer care about those numbers, start charging you for it. That's what they're doing. They're trying to make their numbers look good. It's an incentive. Pre-order bonuses are an incentive. They're not rewards. They're incentivizing you to get something before you probably should, before you know if it's even good. That's what pre-order ones in specific are literally trying to get you to spend money before you even know if the game's worth the money. But you can't even, like, some freaking reviews can't even drop till the day of the game release now. That's a whole nother issue. But, and I'm not saying Smash Bros. Isn't going to be worth your money. That's not really even the point. The point is the practice shouldn't be like, well, it's okay. It's a reward. No, it's an incentive. It's incentivizing people to buy the game in the first 2 months so they can push their sales numbers and increase the sales of Switches in that time period to look good to investors. None of it has anything to do with you as a consumer. They're not rewarding you as a consumer. It's a business practice meant to bump their numbers, and when it gets to the point that the bump numbers don't matter anymore, they're going to charge you for it, because to them it's worth more money to charge you for it at that point than to give it for free. Because if they give it to everyone for free, guess what happens? The numbers don't get boosted in December and January, because there's no reason for people that wanted to wait to buy the game to buy it now, because the incentive is gone. They're bringing the incentive in. So if you were going to wait until your tax return, by the way, a lot of people wait to buy stuff till their tax return. You wanted to wait till you were financially, fiscally being responsible with a tax return to purchase this stuff. Fuck you. You can't do it. Not if you want that character without paying extra money. It's an incentive to boost numbers to look good to investors and then look extra good to investors later because they're going to charge you for that character. Doesn't matter if it's $1. $1 on 8 million people buying it is $8 million. Still money. And if they're only charging you $1, then what the fuck are they doing? They should just keep it free. But they won't. They want to incentivize people to buy it. You're not being rewarded for buying it early. You're being told, if you don't buy it early, we're keeping something from you. Behind a paywall. If you don't buy the game in January and December, we're paywalling a piece of content to you. But if you do buy it, we won't paywall that content. That's what it is. That's literally what this is. Buy it December and January, we won't paywall you. Buy it after, we're going to paywall you. That's not okay. It's not okay. Anyways, I feel this way about collector's editions. Read that. Then give me a way. Let me see. Ryan says, then give me a way to push someone to buy something in the first month it's out. Give you a way to push something to buy someone in the first month it's out. You make a good fucking game that makes people want to buy the fucking game day one. How about that? How about you rely on the game selling itself rather than incentivizing people to buy the game with content? With content, you're like. So Ryan, so how the fuck did people buy video games 20 years ago, 15 years ago, fuck 10 years ago? How did people buy games on Wii and Wii U before DLC and microtransactions were even a thing? How did we buy games then? What incentivized us to buy games day one? Because we couldn't wait to play the game. That was the incentive. We couldn't wait to play the game. If you own the system, you might not want to wait. Like, especially with Nintendo games. Nintendo games don't drop in price, so you're not going to save money by waiting. So the incentive was, I want to play the game now because the game is good. And if you couldn't play it now, maybe it's because you didn't have the money for it, so you had time to save up. Imagine that you're like my daughter who's trying to save up allowance to get some new games, right? But she might not have enough allowance saved up in the next 2 months to buy Smash Bros. For Switch, right? She might not have enough saved up, but she might by February, she might by March. Why the hell should she be punished? Why the hell should she be punished? Because she couldn't afford the game the first 2 months it was out, even though she's paying the same price. Again. They don't need to incentivize you with anything but a good game. There doesn't need to be a pre-order incentive. See, you grew up in this era of pre-order bonuses. You don't need... Okay, put it this way. Ryan, have you ever only bought a game because it had a pre-order bonus? Has there ever been you know what? I wouldn't have bought the game without that pre-order bonus. If you could tell me with an honest face that you would have not bought a game without that pre-order bonus, you know what I can tell you? You shouldn't have fucking bought the game in the first place then. Because if the game couldn't sell itself to you without a pre-order bonus, it wasn't worth your money. It is a marketing trick. Read the rest of the comment, please. I did. I read your comment. It's a strong. No, I'm not a utilitarian. I'm not a utilitarian. I'm not gonna tell you what I am, but I'm not a utilitarian. I'm still alive. Yeah, I'm going off here in a bit though. I've hit my midnight mark, so I'm gonna be done here. Because technically, if you want to argue that I'm a utilitarian, then I should actually be all for the practice. Because a majority of people that buy Smash Bros. Are going to get it in the next 2 months. And they're going to be happy. But the people who buy it after the fact, they might be happy too and not even realize it. Like people get oblivious, you know. People get oblivious to this, and that's why they're gonna. That's why companies have gotten away with pre-order bonuses. Like people are just oblivious to it. They don't. In general, people don't usually realize what's happening with their money and how they're getting screwed over. They just don't. Like people just don't realize it. This is why like so many people just take it. You know, we talk about like with the horsecock song, you know, we're like, you know, reaming it in the ass and shit like that. Like a lot of people are getting reamed in the ass and they just don't even realize it. Like, and it's not just in gaming; it's in life. It's in consumerism across the board. Like, people are getting fucked all the time and don't even realize it. So nothing ever changes about it. And then when it finally gets pointed out by someone in an authority place, right? When a figurehead finally comes out that person respects and says something about it, then they're just like, oh man, what a massive problem. I had no idea. Well, they were getting fucked the whole time. People were complaining about it, just no one cared. Why are you not hearing more people talk about this issue? Not enough people give a shit about the issue. They're fine with it. They'll take it up the ass. They don't even realize they're getting screwed. They don't even realize what's happening. They don't care. And the thing is, I can't make people care about this issue, Ryan. Like me arguing for you, I'm not trying to make you care about this. I can't make anybody care about this business practice. I just can't. I wish I could, but I can't. All I can tell you is how I feel and how I think it's bullshit and how I'm second guessing buying Smash Bros, which will be severely detrimental to my channel. Because I know Super Smash Bros. Live streams would go off. I know Super Smash Bros. Tournaments at my channel would go off. It is of massive benefit to me to buy Super Smash Bros. Just as a channel. Let alone the fun I might have. But then I'm also supporting the business model by buying it. That's what some people said, speak with your wallets. But the rest of the game is worth it to me. So, it's a... And I've talked about this before. I don't think you need to speak with your wallet to be against a business practice. I think what you need to do is make sure that you are very clear about how against that business practice you are. And the only way it's going to change is if enough of people agree with you. The bottom line is I don't think enough people are going to agree with me on the Smash Bros. Front. They're just not going to. There's not going to be enough people that care because they're getting the character for free. What ultimately matters is the crowd that this channel speaks to, the crowd that I'm speaking to right now. 34 people watching. We were up to 50 earlier. I guarantee you almost every single one of you are buying Smash Bros. In the next month or two. So you're not going to care. There's no incentive for you to care because you're getting the character anyways, right? Like, that's the problem. The complaint I'm having isn't speaking to the crowd that I have. The crowd that I have is going to get Piranha Plant for free, right? So when I in my video I make tomorrow, when I spend half of it bitching about Smash Bros. And the other half bitching about Mew being locked behind the Pokeball Plus, a lot of you will agree about the Pokeball Plus bullshit because it does cost extra money and it is cut content. But then you won't agree about the Smash Bros. Stuff because you won't be affected by it. You will not be negatively impacted by it. Ergo, in general, you're just not going to care. Whereas you might be negatively impacted by it in, Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. So you will care about that business practice, but you won't care about the other, even though they're both shitty practices. It's just one doesn't affect you as much because you are going to, or at all, because you're going to buy the game. Like, if you buy the game the next 2 months, you're not affected by this. It also means you don't give a shit about people who buy the game, which is fine. No one has to give a shit about anyone but themselves, by the way. Just so you know, like, no one has to care about anybody else, right? Like, I'm going to get Piranha Plant for free. So, like, that's the thing. Why would myself as a YouTuber complain about something that's not going to be an issue for me? That's the way people look at it. But because I try to care about all consumers, because I have a family of consumers, and I have children that aren't like me, that aren't going to have Smash Bros. The next 2 months, that are going to buy it later. And they're going to be affected by it. My daughter loves the Piranha Plant, by the way, but she's not getting a Switch for Christmas. She's getting a Switch next year. Why should she be punished? She's trying to save money up. Why should she be punished? Because she can't have a Switch right now. She can't have Smash Bros. Right now. She shouldn't be. She shouldn't feel like she should pay more. Like, she even asked me straight up, Daddy, they said something about paying for this later. Do I have to buy it? Yeah, you are going to have to buy it. Why don't you have to buy it, Dad? I don't fucking know. Why don't you give Masahiro Sakurai a call and ask him, why the fuck do we have to pay for this? I don't have an explanation for you. I gotta sit there and explain how businesses work to her and the greed involved. She ain't gonna understand it. She's only 7. Well, then please, in your video tomorrow, make sure you talk about the pre-order bonus and such. Not only Smash. It'll be better explained that way. Well, I'm not going to go too deep into pre-order bonuses because it's not a pre-order bonus. What we have to remember is what this isn't a pre-order bonus. You are trying to compare it to a pre-order bonus. And I'm not a communist. Anyways, you are trying to compare it to a pre-order bonus, but it's not actually a pre-order bonus. So the comparison you're trying to make isn't factually real. Technically. You're technically making an argument that isn't actually true of this particular piece of content. You're just trying to make a comparison. So I might briefly mention how it's bullshit, but I'm not going to get into all the nitty-gritty details on it because it's technically not pre-order DLC. You're not getting a bonus for pre-ordering it. I think it's pretty clear, Ryan, before you said anything about pre-order bonuses, that I was against the practice. Like, when I literally said one person shouldn't pay $60, another person shouldn't pay $60 and get different content. Like, I think that was pretty clear that I'm against what pre-order bonuses do. But I can't help it if other people don't see how pre-order bonus is exactly that. I watched your video where you criticized the online matchmaking but ignored the elite battles. Why was that? Global Smash power needs to be at a certain level just to be able to do it. It wasn't intentional. So, while the Smash thing was going on, I had some other stuff come up. My fiance was sick. I had to take her to the hospital. So when I came back and made that video, I kind of watched like a condensed version of it to kind of catch up on all the news. And the elite battles weren't mentioned in the condensed version that I watched. So part of it was, at the time, I wasn't aware of the elite battles. So that's number one. Wasn't aware of them until someone brought them up because I didn't actually watch the full 40 minutes because I had a lot of stuff going on. And it's been a rough week for me. Obviously, my grandfather passed away. Another one had a stroke. It's not necessarily been the greatest of weeks for me to get my mind around everything like I normally would. So I was just trying to get some quick thoughts out there yesterday. And it was my bad. I should have sat down and made sure I watched the full 40 minutes again, even though I'd already seen half of it. But I just didn't. So that's number one. Number two is that while you have to get to a certain rank for the elite battles, you can get to that rank through any rule set. So it really still doesn't matter to me. Like, it doesn't really fix the problem. It just doesn't. They should have just kept open rule set, whatever you want, and then here's your for glory mode. For glory, open rule set. Have one ranking system for open rule sets, one ranking system for glory. Call it good. Instead, it's like, oh, you get to elite level, but you might have got there playing with items. So it's still not really a fair system. It's still not fair. But let me see here. Here's my advice. Even if you only care about yourself, stick by fellow consumers when they need it, so they stick by you when you need it. I mean, that's fair to say, but here's the problem. When you only care about yourself, you're not sticking by anyone but yourself. So, and if they do stick by fellow consumers, they'll stick by fellow consumers that agree with them. So they're not really, doesn't really work. I wish it did. The average consumer has the attention span of a goldfish. I don't know, man. Goldfish stare at me for a pretty long time. What's up, honey? I'm guessing I know you want me to come to bed. I know you're home. I'll end the stream. I just wanted to play stock, no items, flatter. Dude, I want to play items and stage hazards and be the best ranked player in the world. It won't happen. But, all right. I got to go. Let me give a shout out to the various super chatters, including myself. Let's see here. Where is my live dashboard? There it is. So thank you, Edward, for your $5. Thank you, Nintendo Prime, for your $5. Thank you, Dynamic Kirby, for your $2. Quantum for your $2, and Edward for your $2. Not a ton tonight, but that's okay. Tomorrow evening, I'm hoping to do early in the evening, like 8 p.m. I'm hoping to do a This Week in Review since the stream went so well last week. But we'll see. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll probably have at least one video tomorrow, and then I'll have at least one video scheduled for Monday, because I have a funeral on Monday, so it'll be a video I make tomorrow for Monday. But peace out, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.